What's up, y'all? It's Calvin here, and I'm back with another COVID news round. And with this particular news round, we can really see how the system is showing its hand and its true intentions. And this can be seen with the way that they're handling this freedom convoy that is taking place in Canada, and it is gaining ground within the United States. Once they got this thing started and going on pretty good, there was all of a sudden a hike in diesel prices, you know what I'm saying? And they actually called it a backwardation, and that's some kind of stock market term or some fluff that they was trying to put out there to explain the reason. But what happened is that these gas companies and so on and so forth, which are a part of the government, they hiked up the prices on these guys because they were unifying and galvanizing a dissension against these mandates that have been going on worldwide. And once these truckers got involved, it really put some backbone with this movement. And that is something that the government just can't have. And this could also be seen with GoFundMe. There was about $10 million raised for the truckers that were putting out GoFundMes, and GoFundMe just decided to take the money, most of it, and give that to donations of their choice. You know what I'm saying? Straight up took the donations that was for the truckers and spent them on what they wanted to spend it on. You know what I mean? And I think they ended up paying out like $1 million, but there was a big stink about it. People were threatening to sue. And so I think they're willing to give refunds now. But this just shows you the face of what the government really is. It isn't just some old guys sitting on Capitol Hill, so on and so forth. It's these companies. They're involved with it too, because at every turn when it comes to this pandemic, they are doing the behest of the government. You know what I'm saying? Or the government is doing the big time corporations and business owners. They are doing their bidding. It all goes back and forth, and they are one in the same. And something else that really sticks out about the whole GoFundMe situation is pretty much this shows us what it's going to be like once we completely go to a cashless society. The government and these corporations will simply be able to quell an organic movement that is $10 million strong by simply clicking a button. You know what I'm saying? It is going to be just that easy. So it is going to be up to us to have to figure out a way to circumvent the power that the technology gives the government and these corporations. And, one way to beat technology is simply not use it. And even when it's dealing with money, you know what I'm saying, there's a such thing called the barter system. So, it would behoove of all of us to get familiar with it, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not just a free-for-all like a lot of people think it is. There's some rules and guidelines to it if you take the time to do some research on it. And, it is just something else that we could do outside of the leverage that these technologies and websites give the government. And if that weren't enough, the Ottawa police seized these truckers' fuel storage that they had, you know what I'm saying? Because you got a bunch of truckers there and all that stuff like that. So being forward thinking, which a lot of truckers are, you know what I'm saying? Which is one of the reasons that they're so scared of these guys. These guys can organize very quickly. They plan out things very well because, being a trucker, these are the skills that are needed. And a lot of people don't see truckers as professionals, but they are. They are professional drivers. And so when it comes to mobilizing, like nobody does it better than a trucker. I mean, like really, you know what I'm saying? So, these guys pose a very dangerous and unique threat. So that is one of the reasons why they're being handled that way, because they can move with a lot of focus and organization very quickly. So they are very keen to get on top of this. And they had the cops come and take their fuel storage. So it was very, very telling. And as I stated earlier, that, the system is really showing its hand. And something else that they do is they always try to divide and conquer. And on top of, the vaccinated, unvaccinated line that they're really trying to push now to keep people separated is the racial aspect. Because since this has been happening, there's been a lot of racism and stuff that is starting to be cranking up. Here recently, we've had bomb threats at colleges. I believe there were 2 of them. And, then here recently, we had the situation with Joe Rogan, which we'll touch on in just a moment. And we also had the situation in Minnesota, again, the same place where the George Floyd situation went down. They had a no-knock warrant where the cops basically got the key to this guy's apartment who was not on their warrant, and got the key, opened up the door, and within 10 seconds, this dude was dead. And they swearing up and down that this was not a target or, you know what I'm saying, nothing like that. But I doubt that I could go to court and really convince a jury after I got a key to somebody's apartment, opened up the door, and then within 10 seconds, I killed them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I would be able to convince them that I didn't mean to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, you know, he reached for his gun, so that's why I killed him. Like, I don't think nobody would believe that. You know what I'm saying? But at any rate, that's what the cops are trying to say. And it's all to get people worked up and bent out of shape. And this is where the Joe Rogan story comes in. And it ties in with the whole COVID thing. Because, like, I am not a Joe Rogan fan. Like, the first time I seen him years ago, I knew right off the bat that this dude was racist. You know what I'm saying? And just his last name alone told me what I needed to know. You know what I'm saying? Along with the way that this guy talks. You know what I'm saying? And this is before I ever heard him say the N-word or anything like that. Like, I knew. And this is just the life experience of a black man coming from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? That was raised in Central Texas. I've been dealing with dudes like this my whole life. You know what I'm saying? So Joe Rogan was easy to spot, and I'm not shocked at all that this dude is racist. But this guy's been using the N-word for over 12 years, and he said it 20 times. All right? And all of a sudden, after he has been dropping bombs and poking holes through all of these COVID nonsense lies, because the guy actually had COVID, you know, they chose to bring up his past. And one of the surefire ways to get the people worked up, particularly black folks, is if you pull out the race card. And immediately they will attach, you know what I'm saying, racism to anti-vaxxer. And you can kind of figure out how the rest of this stuff works out. And this is all strategically done, and, you know, and it's all because they want to break up the unity. Because with these truckers are doing, they are galvanizing. Because there's been protests going on since the pandemic has started, when they've come in with these harsh measures, but they've just seemed like they haven't been anything unified. But once they brought the Freedom Convoy in, it just seems like everybody started riding up under that banner. And like, people in France have Freedom Convoy signs, so on and so forth, all across the world. And it is really galvanizing the people, and the powers that be, they can't have that. So they're going to bring out all types of stuff like this. And you're going to see all types of situations happen, because, like, the government, they will kill people, you know what I'm saying, just to get the people divided and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? These folks have committed atrocities all throughout the earth. So allow yourself to look at the history so that your imagination can catch up with reality of what these folks are really doing. Because they will stop at nothing, you know what I'm saying? And they will do whatever it takes, tirelessly, consistently, day in and day out, you know what I'm saying, to keep us under subjection, to keep us completely divided at each other's throats, so that we can't see the bigger picture and fight the real enemy, which is them, you know what I'm saying? So I hope this resonates with you guys and gives you, you know what I'm saying, a clearer picture of what it is that we're dealing with and why we are dealing with it. This is the Pod Roast. Shine, sweet freedom, shine your light on me.